This is Chuck Trimble of Oglala Lakota from the Oglala Lakota tribe in South Dakota, and author of the book Ieska. You are listening to Authenticity Radio with Slade-Suiter.
Welcome to you. Pachamama is our subject today, and I'm happy you're here. Mother Earth. This is Slade-Suiter. I have much gratitude in my heart today because Lynne Twist rejoins Authenticity Radio once again. Now, Lynne Twist, if you remember, is a global activist, a teacher, an international fundraiser, author of The Soul of Money, and the co-founder of the Pachamama Alliance. So, Lynne Twist, welcome back to you.
Thank you, Slade. It's a delight and a joy to be with you again.
It's wonderful to have you here. So, we just for our listeners, we just finished with The Soul of Money. So please listen to this last broadcast, and we embark upon this journey into Mother Earth and Pachamama. So Lynne, please share with us, what is Pachamama?
Well, the word Pachamama is a Quechua word. The Quechua language and the Quechua people exists in the Amazon rainforest and the Andes in South America, and it's the largest indigenous language group in the world. So the word Pachamama comes from the Quechua people, but many indigenous people around the world use it for to refer to what we would call Mother Earth. What they would say is that it really refers to something really even larger than that. They call it Pachamama, the earth, the sky, the universe, and all time. So Pachamama is a very broad, their understanding, indigenous people's understanding of the world is a kind of a larger reality than often modern world people like you and I see all the time. So the earth, the sky, the universe, and all time.
And all time, meaning the past, present, and future?
Yes,
Wow.
But a good shorthand is Mother Earth. That's a pretty good title.
Okay. It's your Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Lynne, you are the co-founder of the Pachamama Alliance. What is this alliance?
The Pachamama Alliance is an alliance between the indigenous peoples of the Amazon and the Andes and conscious, committed people in the modern world like you and the listeners to this program for the sustainability of life itself. We at Pachamama Alliance work with indigenous peoples of the Andes and the Amazon and modern world people all over the world to find the keys to bringing forth an environmentally sustainable, spiritually fulfilling, and socially just human presence on this planet. And that's what we do.
Wow, sustaining life itself. It seems like it's a fairly noble cause.
Well, it's a kind of a big issue today. You know, the work that we do in the Amazon and the Andes to empower indigenous people, particularly to protect their lands and culture. They do it not for themselves only, but for the future of life. The Amazon in particular, many people call the lungs of the planet. It's absolutely essential that we preserve the Amazon rainforest for the future of life. And particularly beautiful is the gift that indigenous people have to give us about how they see a life being a thriving, just, and sustainable future for all. So it's beautiful work, and we do educational programs all over the world in now 74 countries to educate on the environmental crisis, the social justice crisis, and the spiritual crisis, so that we can see that it's all one crisis in our consciousness, and we can turn it around. So that's the work of Pachamama Alliance, and it's beautiful, inspiring, and powerful work.
Okay, so Lynne, There's a friend of mine by the name of Fiu Fiu from Japan, and he's involved with the Pachamama Alliance. And he told me of this story, a beautiful story about a condor and an eagle. And they're flying in the sky at the same time. Can you tell us this story?
Yes, it's actually an ancient prophecy that comes from the Andes and the Amazon. It's been told for millennium that this time in history, the time that we're in right now, has been prophesied for millennium to be the time of the prophecy of the eagle and the condor. And the eagle refers to, the eagle people refers to people who perceive life primarily through the mind. And that's people in the modern world really like us. And the prophecy says that by this time in history, right around the end of the 20th century, the beginning of the 21st century, the eagle people will have developed the capacity of the mind, and they'll be at this kind of zenith in their capacity to do things with the mind that are simply breathtaking and extraordinary, including inventing tools that will extend the capacity of the mind, like probably that's a prophecy about the computer, and that the eagle people will be materially rich beyond any previous generation's imagination, but they will be spiritually impoverished, and their very survival will be at risk. While the condor people, and that refers to people who live primarily through the wisdom of the heart, the five senses, and are rooted in the spiritual world, and that refers to the indigenous people on the planet. Mm-hmm. The condor people will arrive at a kind of zenith at this time in history, the end of the 20th century, beginning of the 21st, with their understanding of the spirit world, other species, the five senses, and the natural world itself. And they will have an incredible relationship with the kin of all life. And they will be at a kind of zenith in their deep and profound wisdom of the heart. But they will be materially impoverished to their peril in any encounter with the eagle world, so their very survival will be at risk. And it's time in history which is called the end, the changing of one 500-year Pachacuti to another 500-year Pachacuti, the end of the 9th Pachacuti and entering the 10th. Right around this time in history, the eagle people and the condor people, or the eagle and the condor, will remember that they are each other and will come back together, reunite, and fly together in the same skies, wing to wing, and the world will come back into balance. The heart and the mind of humanity will be reunited, and the world will come back into balance for the next 500 years. And the prophecy also says that for the last 500 years, this is a prophecy from South America, they say, right around the end of the 15th century, right around 1492, for 500 years until about 1992, or the end of the 20th century, was the 500 years of dominance and darkness. That was called the Pachacuti, which is the 500-year earthly cycle. And the next Pachacuti, which begins right around now, from 1992-ish to the next 500 years, at the end of the 20th century and the beginning of the 21st, is the next Pachacuti of balance and light, 500 years. And the prophecy says for the 25 years changing from one Pachacuti to the next, Pachamama herself, Mother Earth, will humble her creatures from the 500 years of dominance and darkness, which was the last Pachacuti, the character of the last Pachacuti, the Pachacuti of dominance and darkness for 500 years. Mm-hmm. At the end of that 500-year cycle, right around now, Pachamama herself will humble her creatures through huge climactic events, so they will remember their rightful role in relationship with her. And there will be earthquakes and tsunamis and climactic events of horrendous and unprecedented nature. And that will happen for 25 years to humble all creatures to remember their rightful role in relationship with her, Pachamama, as we go into the Pachacuti of balance and light, which is the next 500-year cycle. So that is the prophecy of the eagle and the condor. It's a very hopeful prophecy about this time in history, and it's been told for millennia about right now, about us, and about the world we live in.
I just love it. It made me remember just that, remembering the eagle recognizing the condor and the condor recognizing the eagle.
Yes.
There's something that feels so right about that. It's recognizing not only the polarities of life, the people of the mind and people of the heart, but it's also at the same time recognizing everyone in this planet.
Yes, it really is the integration of the longing of the heart and the genius of the mind in all of us and in everyone everywhere.
And also recognizing the planet itself.
Yes, exactly. And that we need to be humbly reverent with our mother, and we've forgotten that she's really in charge.
Yeah, so we're kind of in for a little spanking, not that or maybe correction.
Yes, yeah, a major course correction.
Mm-hmm. Now stand in the corner until I tell you can come out.
Yeah, it's very. I think it's even though it says there's 25 years of climactic turmoil, will change from one Pachacuti to another. Which doesn't sound fun and hasn't been fun, and will probably get a lot worse. Here in California, we're heading into a terrible drought. There's extreme temperatures all over the United States right now. I know this is not going to be an easy passage, but we will. The prophecy says we will get through it, and it will be important to do this humbling work where we surrender to the mother. And I really feel that's a powerful, powerful, and blessed message.
Mm-hmm. And how I guess it's going to be kind of important how we do this. Being humbled is important, and how we. It seems like we can make it easy, or we can make it very difficult on ourselves.
Well, there's many organizations now using the word resilience rather than sustainability. And resilience is probably an appropriate word to use regarding this period, because resilience really means finding a source of local food, understanding the watershed you're living in, really connecting with your neighbors so that you can care for each other in a disaster. Resilience is also, it's about sustainability and learning to live a more sustainable life and a more resilient life, knowing that, some challenging times are upon us, and we will make it if we care for one another rather than try to hole up and deny it, resist it, and just take care of ourselves. And so there's a beauty in a disaster. Some of our most horrendous disasters have brought out the best qualities of the human family in our love for one another and our capacity to care and be there for each other. And it's almost like now on a planetary scale, we get to go through that. We get to find out who we really are and what we're really up to and what we really care about and what we really stand for. And I actually, I think that's it. It'll be very challenging, and already is, but it'll be a blessing. It's really the financial crisis that we're all going through is part of it, and it hurts. But we all know that the real growth in our lives has come from, in many ways, the darkest times, the failures, the upsets, the heartbreaks, and when our heart breaks open, that's when we really have breakthroughs. And I think this is the big, big part of the times we're living in. And if we can hold it as a blessing, if we can hold it as a transformation, kind of walking on coals, on fire walking almost, we will become ever more